Welcome. In front of me I have the brand new Xiaomi 12, and today I'll go over unboxing along with a quick spec sheet look and well, look at the device itself. So anyway, let's just pop it open. Okay, so as you can see, that's basically all we have in the box. So let's just get the phone. Can I nope, I cannot slide it out. And there we go, so that's our phone. And we also have a case for it, as you can see. Now, design-wise, I will have to say it looks identical to the 12X. As you can see, they look identical. This one just has a matte finish, while this one has a little bit more of a smooth one. But this could be just the color difference and how they designed. But other than that, display also is curved as it is on the other one. So actually, let's just quickly go into the actual specs of the display, and if I'm gonna touch upon this one. So we are looking at a 6.28 inch display. It's a 1080p by 2400. It's a AMOLED display with 68 billion colors. So they are using some kind of I don't remember what the actual term for it is, but basically it's a better display. I think it's I think it was a 10-bit or whatever it is, which allows them to display more colors on the display. So obviously it's an improvement, and that's, I think, all that is important. And it is a 120 Hz refresh rate, Dolby Vision, HDR10 Plus, and peaks at 1100 nits. So obviously it can get pretty bright. So those are the actual screen specs. Now, while I'm going to the setup, I'm gonna quickly go through the actual camera setup. So before I actually shut up, you can just get a quick glance. Right here we have triple camera setup. And obviously the first one at the top will be the main one, and that is a 15 megapixel wide sensor. Below that we have a 13 megapixel ultra wide, and below that we have a 5 megapixel telephoto macro lens. Now, surprisingly, at least to my surprise, the macro lens on here actually slaps. It is actually good. I did test it on this one, which is the 12X, and because they're using the same cameras, I assume that the results, logically thinking, should be exactly the same. But I'm actually gonna test it out. Now, the normal cameras are good. I don't have any problems with those. Obviously, but usually what I have a problem is on the low pixel count macro lenses that companies include, or the just sticker cameras. This one is not, which you can most likely see right. Is it already on macro? Oh yeah, definitely it is. Now, as you've probably seen right here, it does not have any kind of stabilization, so you probably need to keep your hand quite stable for this. But if you do, as you can see, the shots right here are just insane. Just for comparison, this is what I shot, one of these tiny little clusters where you have these needles. This is taking the entire screen. And it's not only taking an entire screen, because that's not a challenge, any kind of garbage phone can do that, but it has a lot of detail. So like I said, that came to me as a surprise, where an actual macro lens was doing a good job. Anyway, at the front we also have a fairly decent camera. It's a 32 megapixel wide sensor, and overall those cameras are just, all of them are good. For the price that you need to pay for this device, this phone is just outstanding. So is the other one, the 12X. Though this one, the 12X, is running a Snapdragon 870. This one here is running a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. So a newer version, I assume, though I don't know how that actually compares. Technically the 870, from what I understand, should be on a lower side. This one I think should be on a higher side. So yeah, anyway, let's move on to the internals. So in terms of storage and RAM, the specific one that I have right here runs 8 gigs of RAM with 256 built-in storage. But you have also a lower version of it, so this one is kind of like a mid-range. So the lowest one, which also will be the cheapest one obviously, has 128 gigs of storage and 8 gigs of RAM. So just half of the storage capacity, but same RAM. Then we have the 256 8 gigs of RAM, which is this specific one right here. And we can also go with the 256, so same storage, but we get 12 gigs of RAM, which seems a little bit excessive in my opinion. Personally, I don't know how I would ever be able to use 12 gigs of RAM on a phone, but some people might want it just so they never have to worry, which is completely fine. Obviously, the last version will be the most expensive, considering it is the most like spec'd out one. And additionally, from what I remember, at least on the 12X, let me quickly make sure I am correct, but I don't think we have a expandable storage right here. Yep, there is no expandable storage. So if 128 gigs of storage isn't enough for you, do go with the 256, otherwise you don't have any way of actually expanding the storage. You can use the USB-C to plug in some kind of like SD card, or as an example, something like I have, where do I have it? Something like this. So you could utilize something like this. It does have an SD card, you can just plug it in and it will work. But obviously you're not gonna keep this plugged into your phone all the time. It's more for like data transfer. But still, it's a viable strategy if you just need to like offload some of the data from the device. So that will work. Anyway, moving on. We have a 4500 mAh battery, and we also have this hefty 67 watt charger. So apparently it will charge the device from basically fully dead to 100% in 39 minutes. Now, I watched this review from also GSM Arena of at least the 12X, so this one. And from their tests, which they have done, apparently it took them, I think, like 45 minutes to charge it to full. So it looks like the numbers right here that were advertised were a little bit misleading, a little bit on a more appealing side, but still like 5 to 10 minutes more of charging and you basically get a full charge anyway. And still like 40 minutes, 45, something like that is not much to charge this device to full. It's still like blazing fast. So anyway, that's that. We do have a reverse wireless charging at hefty 10 watts, so that's actually new. And we have a power delivery 2.0, quick charge 4+, so that's basically for this. And we have a fast wireless charging at, wow, 50 watts. I have a fast wireless charger under the desk, like off the screen, but I can tell you it's not that fast. So it's quite interesting, like how hot this charger can get, because wireless chargers do produce a lot of heat, like waste heat from just wirelessly charging. So 50 watts might be getting that charger really warm, so keep that in mind. And anything else that I can find out interesting about this device? I don't think so. I mean, this phone is already like really great. So the last thing that I'll say is the price tag of it, and this comes at nearly 1,000 euros. So it's a little bit below, but this one is more on the expensive side. It does, I guess it's priced as you would expect from a flagship, to be honest, which Honestly, it kind of, to me, it's a little bit more or less appealing at this specific version, just because the price. It comes out to be basically as much as any kind of flagship will cost. On the other hand side, the 12X that I have right here comes at around, what is it, 600 or 700 euros? So it is significantly cheaper. Has a Snapdragon 870, so a little bit lower than this. And apart from that Snapdragon, it provides everything exactly the same. Almost. Actually, no, one caveat. It has no wireless charging. But that's the only thing it doesn't have. From what I can see, everything else is almost identical between them. The displays are the same, the refresh rates, the system, battery, charging speeds, charger included, cameras, RAM and storages options, and so on. The only thing it lacks, wireless charging and a better processor, which personally I will take any day for this phone. It's just a little bit more appealing to me. Obviously, if you're looking for the raw power, this one will probably deliver, considering it has a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. And you also have, if you want a better option, you also have this one right here that you can look forward to, which is the Xiaomi 12 Pro. So even higher spec version of this, though price tag will also be higher. And if the specking up is as minuscule as it is between the 12X and 12, I don't think it might be worth it. Now, anyway, that being said, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.